everyone, thanks so much for joining me. Today we are talking all about what I learned from my one-to-one makeup lesson. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, sharing what I learned from a makeup artist and also doing a giveaway, but then I saw 10,000 was kind of within reach, so I wanted to wait until everything aligned. So thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. When you start YouTube, I think you never really think anyone's gonna watch your videos. And thank you to those of you who especially have been there since the beginning. We have had quite a little journey with lighting. I am, as you can see, still trying to perfect that. So I appreciate you sticking with me through everything because I know sometimes things don't work out really well. So I definitely learn from the mistakes, and you have gently nudged me with your feedback. So thank you so much for that. And one of the reasons I hesitated on starting YouTube was because I had seen kind of what can happen in the comments section, but I am so pleasantly surprised with the community that's been built here, and your comments are so kind. And I know I share many subscribers with my friends here on YouTube, so I love that this is such a positive place. So thank you for that as well. And I have to thank all of the other content creators, speaking of content creators, for supporting this channel with a mention, with a collaboration. All of those little things helped, and I know some of you are here because of that, so I can't thank them enough for just, again, the support, for the companies that have chosen to work with me, and I know that, again, is because of you and your support. Any idea of working with some of these amazing companies that I've had a chance to work with, I never thought anything or even imagined anything like that would happen. Because of your support, the opportunities I've had have been something I will never forget. So I just wanted to thank you with a giveaway. And I also wanted to take a moment to talk about the makeup artist who I had my one-to-one lesson with. If you don't already follow her and subscribe, but she looks familiar to you, you might recognize her from Wayne Goss's videos. When he releases product, he'll feature Mel Thompson and Kelsee. So that is that Kelsee, if you're wondering. And I can't remember how we found each other. I honestly can't remember. But when I heard she started doing makeup lessons one-to-one, I wanted to sign up. Just really briefly about her, she's been on YouTube for 10 years. So I can't imagine in 6 years, I'll be well into my 50s by that point. But yeah, 10 years is a long time, so that really shows her dedication. She's one of the first people to start featuring luxury beauty, and so she definitely paved the way for the rest of us. So I took this lesson with Kelsee. She taught me so much about eye makeup that I'm surprised I didn't know by this point after watching so many videos. But what was really nice, and I think I'll talk about it as I apply my makeup, how valuable it is to have somebody look at your face and say, here are your features and this is what we can do, versus watching someone on YouTube who may not have the same features. I mean, lucky if they do, but if they don't, sometimes the techniques won't work as well because they are not customized to your particular features. So I think that was the most valuable part of it. I want to go ahead and share with you what I learned and then also talk about the giveaway at the end. I do have on my foundation, powder, bronzer, blush, and highlighter, kind of. Okay, so of course my bronzer is the Sisley. I went in with these two products for my blush. So the Chanel, I actually use this on a lot of my cheek today, 5201, the holiday one. But then I did go over that with number 68, Chanel. Oops. This one right here. So that's the combination I have on. And then I use the Dior foundation, Clé de Peau powder, Hummingbird powder, Hourglass concealer on the face, and then these two, Sisley and La Prairie under the eye. Now, one of the things Kelsee made sure to let me know was I needed an eye primer. And actually, this is where the follow the directions would have helped because I failed to read the information she sent. She's very thorough, but I failed to read it. So we used a concealer, but this is the one she recommended, and I've been using it ever since. Been really happy with it. It's the Hourglass eye primer, and I did put some on already, just a really thin layer. I think I make the mistake of putting on too much, and that it can kind of crease when I put too much. Let me make sure I didn't put too much. It really does a nice job of priming the eye. So let's go ahead. I'm going to use something basic because I think maybe the colors are more evident that way. So we're going to use this palette. I think we used this before, the 308 by Chanel. Oh, I also have a Chanel lip on, Endless Pink. Yeah, this one. I think it's my favorite color so far. Another thing she said is I needed smaller brushes because my eye shape is smaller. So she suggested one of them was the Wayne Goss eye brush set, which I just washed. So they're nice and clean, but I've been using these pretty much every day that I've been doing eyeshadow. These are great. So if you're looking for a brush set that's smaller, then this is a really good one. Now, one thing she did point out though, which is why I love this, because not many makeup artists have told me this, and I've had my makeup done, you know, a handful of times, and mostly they see me and they say in their mind, I think, oh, I have an Asian client. But if you look at my eyes, they are not really like your traditional Asian eye shape. My eyes turn down, first of all. So if you look at my actual eye shape, my mom's are like this. They kind of go straight across like this, and then it goes like this. So it's like straight and then a curve. So she doesn't have an almond shaped eye. I have a little bit of that shape, not as much. My dad's eye shape, though, is very much traditional Asian eye shape, so I have a combination of the both. So they do turn down a little bit. So anything you try in my eye that you just assume my eye shape by looking at me is not going to work. And that was what was so great about Kelsee, is she really did look at my individual features. I don't think like anybody else has before. So starting there, I think, is a really great reason to do a one-to-one, because they are really looking at your features. And if you can find someone who is that detail oriented, because I kept saying you were so detail oriented because I thought things that I was doing during the lesson weren't as evident to her, but she was catching everything. So she said, okay, so your eye shape is smaller, but I have a lot of space between here and my eyebrow. So she said, let's work with that. And I thought, oh, I've never really thought about it. I've always been fighting for this little bit of space here to really pack the color on, not really even thinking I could do anything, or I don't know why. It just didn't occur to me to go and do anything up here. Okay, so that's what I love about the one-to-one, because if you get someone good, they will work with what you have. So it's one thing to see tutorials, and especially if you find someone like you or someone with features like you, that's really helpful. But it's a totally different experience having someone look at you and really bring out what will work. So this was kind of funny because when we started getting into the tutorial, I was like, what? Because it's not anything like I've tried. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to put this all over. Now, Kelsee, if you're watching, I can't remember the exact steps, but I remember the big picture. So some of this might not be totally on par with what we did, but I've kind of adapted. So you can let me know if I'm totally off. But I'm going to take this color right here, this lightest color, and just go all over the lid, just to kind of set down a base. It is important, though, if you do a one-to-one, to read everything that they have sent you, if they send you anything to read, because you're going to get more out of your lesson than if you don't, because I'm a prime example of not doing any homework. In fact, that's what ate up a little bit of time, was because she was asking me questions that I probably should have already been prepared for. Not probably, I should have been prepared, like the palette. She had several options for palettes to pick, and I hadn't thought about that. Primer, brushes, etc. So it's good to be prepared before the lesson. Okay, so I've got that on. And then I'm going to take a bigger brush, not a bigger, a smaller. This is the, sorry, that first brush was the number 16. So I just took that all over. Now I'm going to take the number 17 right here, and I'm going to go in with this color, this second deepest color. And this was the part where I was like, what? So this, she actually said, okay, so take your brush and really hold it very lightly. Of course, there's more to it than this. These are the things I remember. And then gently go, and she said, go up. And this is the part that surprised me. And if you already know this, then I'm late to the game. But this surprised me because I'm not used to putting color right here. So she said, just go back and forth like this and go in an upward motion. Again, Kelsee, if I'm wrong here, please correct me. But this is how she said to get color on. She said a mistake is to put too much color right here. So really just gently add color on. And she said your brush does all the work, which if you have a good brush, I totally get it. So just a gentle wash of color. And we went really gentle on the shadows that we used. I think we used the Wayne Goss palette at that time, but I wanted to show you with an all matte. I just think it's more evident. So I love the way she did it too. It was like she showed me first, she said, watch me do it. And they should have said, okay, let's try it together. So we would do one eye and do it together. And then she would say, okay, do the other eye. And she would watch. And so then I was able to get really great feedback in real time. Like she said, keep going here, which also is counterintuitive. Like she said, keep going down. So even now I don't think I'm doing it, but she said, really bring it further down, which to me, I want my eye shape to go up like this. But she's like, no, it's going to be okay. So if you do take a lesson, really just experiment because you can always fix it too. And she actually said I should do this eye first because this actually is an easier eye to do versus this because I have these bones that stick out right here too. And they don't stick out evenly. So my eyes are not even at all. But she said this eye actually is easier to do than this eye over here. But she said don't make the mistake of putting too much right here because that's what people often do. And then we used my 6.5 quite a bit, although, where is it? Oh, it's right here. So we used this to erase quite a bit. Let me make sure it's clean. So we used it as an eraser, a little bit differently than how I normally, but she's like, erase like this. So we were able to do that quite a bit as well, just to blend that in. I know that's really subtle, but that's what I like about this technique. Okay, so then we're going to go in here with this color, and I'll probably go back and forth as we do this. Okay, so then for the crease, she said I'm going to also let the brush do the work and then put the color in the crease. Oh, I forgot to mention, see, these are the little details that a real makeup artist can tell you. So one thing I did tell her is I wanted my eye shape to appear larger, and so this whole time I've been cheating a little bit above, so not going totally in the crease. If you can see, this darkest area isn't right here, it's a little bit above. So just kind of cheating that shape a little bit to make it appear like a larger eye area. That's what I'm doing here with the crease as well. So taking that and just instead of going into the crease, I'm going above the crease just slightly. And this is where, again, that one-to-one is so valuable because they can help you with placement. But yeah, I would love to go in for another one-to-one just to refine this process now that I've had a chance to practice. So I can see wanting to take all of the glasses. Taking the number 20 brush and I'm going into this darkest color here. And then I'm just going to pat like this. Really gently towards the end here. I think this was the only thing, Kelsee, that I did correctly the first time. And then I'm just going to work it in a little bit here. When we went to the eyeliner, and I don't know if it included the eyeliner step, just kind of asked like, what would you do for eyeliner? So this is espresso. I'm just going to do a little bit of espresso here along the lash line. So you can do something really simple like this. I'm actually going to take it in the waterline too. So you can do a really pretty eye just like this. And then mascara, you know what I'm going to put in here? Brun Agape in the in the waterline just because I love it so much. Okay, so you can do like this and put mascara. I think that's really pretty. Or we can do a little bit, let's do a little bit of winged liner. I'm just going to take this Surratt liner, it's brown, and I'm going to go over really close to the lash line. So I'm going to try my best to do it here for you. So really close to the lash line. Okay, and this is where I went rogue on the lesson with Kelsee. So I was like, can we do the wing liner? And she's like, okay. So I don't think it was part of the lesson, but so this is how I do a wing liner. I just asked her really quick how to do it. So down like this and then going across. And I think the biggest mistake I've made is not realizing that I need to take up a lot of space, because again, if you look at my eye shape, if I go straight across, look how much space is between here and here. Like that, from here to here is a lot of space for it to have a triangle. But I'm just going to go not directly across. I'm going to go a little bit lower so my wing is not so pronounced. But if you really want to go across and go for it, then you've got to be a little bit higher. So I'm just going to go like this, and then I'm going to connect and fill it in. And already it still looks like it's going down, doesn't it? So you can see, so just play around with this if you're not sure about how high your line needs to go. And look at this angle, like it's pretty steep. And so just like if I went down like in a flick, it totally would not work on me. So just experiment, and if it's drooping, my guess is that you're gonna need to go higher in terms of going across, as well as this angle going up. So I would just play around with it. But that is kind of how I do my wing. Not kind of, that's how I do my wing these days. Sometimes it's bigger, sometimes it's smaller. Okay, so let me do this other one and put on some mascara. What we did was take something shimmery to put in that inner corner, and I have a bristles brush here. They make some really nice brushes as well, some smaller ones. And this is the E05PS. I do have the luminescent eye shade here in Cheetah. I think it's such a pretty shade, and I still do want to do a look with this. It's categorized as a warm champagne color. So I'm just going to take that and place that really specifically in this area. I'm going to bring it in a little bit as well. So this is how all of this ties together. So to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, which I wish I could thank you each individually and gifted this all to you, but we're going to pick one winner, and the one winner gets a one-to-one with Kelsee. On one of her lives, I did say I wish everyone had a chance to have a lesson with Kelsee, because I thought it was so valuable to me. I think that makeup is a wonderful, wonderful giveaway prize. I would love that as well. But I also think education is something that applies to all of your makeup. So I feel like if we do a giveaway on a class, you can apply it to makeup you have already, or, you know, keep that in mind as you buy other things. Because since that class, I look at eyeshadow palettes so differently than I used to, because I know I'm going to bring it up here. I know what to do with the colors now. She has several choices here, so depending on what you want, I will let the winner choose. Complexion Course, Eyeshadow Course, that's the one I did, by the way. Eyebrows, Eyeliner, Lashes Course, Bronzer, Blush, Highlight Course. All about brushes. So those are the choices. This is the way it will work. You'll need to follow me on Instagram at everydayeditxo, so then I can see when you follow. You'll also need to make a comment down below on this video with your Instagram handle. That way I can match Instagram followers with your Instagram handle. The giveaway ends on November 12th, 2020 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. At that time, I will go ahead and randomly draw a winner, post that on Instagram stories. So that's why you'll need to make sure you are following on Instagram, because you'll want to see if you win on Instagram stories. I'll give it 48 hours to hear back from you. So you would DM me back if you see your name. And if I don't hear from the winner in 48 hours, we will pick a new winner until we find someone who responds in 48 hours. This does apply internationally. That's another thing I wanted to make sure is that it was available to everyone. Thank you so much for all of your support. Good luck. If you don't already follow and watch Kelsee, please follow her on Instagram and subscribe to her YouTube channel. She's very, very talented and such a sweet person. But that's it for today's video, so please take care of each other. Stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks.